Hey folk, welcome back. So for today's video, we're going to be doing a little faceless ranking, which is not normally how I do my videos, but this is the first time that I am like actively filming anything since my little anxiety scare. I know I posted a video on Friday, but all of that was like already filmed footage that I just had to edit together, right? Like that was pretty chill and easy. This is the first time I'm like filming something new, and I'm definitely doing a lot better. Thank you so much for everyone who was like so kind and sent me so many nice messages. I just am like not quite 100% yet, still a little tired, a little bit shaky, so I'm bored enough and I'm like feeling good enough to where I feel like I want to make something, but not feeling quite good enough to get all like, dolled up and on camera and everything. So we're just gonna do this ranking without me in it. I feel like a ranking video is a pretty decent video for me to not be on camera for, because like it's more about the ranking. So hopefully this will still be just as fun for you guys. But this is going to be part two to me ranking all of the Lalaloopsy dolls. In part one, I had said I wasn't sure if enough people would be interested for me to end up doing a part two. And I feel like just enough people were interested for me to justify doing a part two, but not enough people were interested for me to justify doing a part three, which, like, realistically speaking, there are a lot of these dolls, and like a part three might have been useful. But yeah, I don't feel like I can get away with that one. So we're just going to do a nice long part two here. I will say this sort of unintentionally has become ranking the core Lalaloopsy dolls, because while I was going through, sorry, I'm blabbering too much. My screen's trying to go dark. While I was going through and preparing for part two, I realized there's very, very few like repeat characters, like dolls that get a second release of a new design. And at that point, I was like, I'm just not going to bother. So this is more of like a core ranking. It's fine. It's whatever. You guys must be accustomed to the chaos by now. In any case, we're going to get into the ranking. We are using Procreate as we did for the last one, and as we always do for my ranking videos. And just like before in part one, the tiers are perfect, good, just okay, I feel nothing, getting bad, and awful. I do have part one prepared down here. So this is like the reminder. We're going to go ahead and like just build off of this, but this is where we are from part one. So it was really a rather positive ranking. If you didn't watch that video, I will have linked it already, probably. But if you don't want to go watch part one right now, or if you haven't seen it or whatever, then this is where we were at. Pretty positive. I did have my questions about diversity, and also this one character down here, Sahara, not her fault, but questions about how appropriate that representation was. And spoiler alert, we're going to see more of that today. So let's just dive on in. First on today's docket is going to be Forest Evergreen. If you didn't see my previous video, I'm not counting the pets. Like, I might comment on them, but I'm not like accounting for them in the ranking, which is good because I'm not really a fan of his little beaver. Nothing against beavers, just I don't know. I don't really like how that one turned out. Hi, Miss Weiss. She's approaching. You guys won't be able to see her today. I'm sorry, but maybe she'll bless you with her meows. So yes, Forest Evergreen. I do think, hi, Reese. If you heard anything shaking, it was my desk. That was her. She's arrived. Yeah, I like the shirt. I feel like he's got some good details on there with like the faux Sherpa, it looks like. He's got suspenders and like the little jean shorts slash pants that I think are really cute. What's losing me is that the shoes, like his clothes are so high quality looking that then the shoes sort of look cheap by comparison. And I know that like you could say similar things for a lot of the previous characters. Like they all do have plastic shoes, right? But there's just something about the level of quality of his clothes. Like he's got belt loops. I should probably do a smaller size. And like O-rings and his suspenders. Like this looks very high quality. Even the stitches on his little patch here. So I think because it looks so high quality, normally that's like not a problem. But it just makes the shoes look extra silly by comparison, I guess. I'm gonna put him in just okay. Then we have Toffee Cocoa Crumble? No, it's just a CU. Custard? I don't know. The name's cut off and I'm not going to go looking for it. I'm sorry. I think this one's pretty cute. Like, she's definitely very pink, and there are a lot of pink ones, and it's kind of like, I would like to do other things, but I do think she's quite nice. I believe that this is a new sculpt from what we've already covered. I don't think we'd seen anyone with this sculpt before. I'm obsessed with the fact that her cheeks are hearts, though. That's really, really cute because we did discuss last time that with the Lalaloopsy faces, there's not a ton that you can necessarily do there. I think that's a really, really cute way to just zhuzh it up a teensy bit. Overall, I'm gonna put her into good. Like, she definitely doesn't really stand out as like, oh my god, this is insane, amazing to me, but I think she's pretty. Then we have Charlotte Charades. And again, the pets shouldn't factor in, but that is so funny to me that she doesn't even really have a pet. She just has like a leash because she's a mime. I think that is really, really funny. And I also think doing a mime character is quite interesting. I feel like we don't see that super duper often, so it definitely stands out and I think makes her feel more unique. I like that they did the white face paint under for her. I think that's quite nice. The stripes on the shirt, you know, there's like a lot of red going in there, but I do think they managed to mix the pink and red quite well because she's got the pink suspenders and then the pink hair, and so it like doesn't feel like, oh, all of this is red and then she just suddenly is pink up there. She's funny. I don't think I can put her in perfect. Like, she amuses me. She's just not quite there, but she definitely gets to go into good. That brings us to the first controversial one. And I gotta say, I kind of feel bad even saying her name. Like, it kind of feels not super, but her name is Mango Tiki Wiki. Yeah, yeah. I, being just like a white person, am certainly no expert on any Polynesian culture. So I don't know how culturally appropriate her clothing is. I just, the name gives me pause. And just because I know what's coming up, I do have some doubts about this really truly being excellent representation. I feel like I have to put her in getting bad. Even if all of the clothes are great, I feel like Mango Tiki Wiki has to be an offensive name. Like, that's like tiki party at the party store section. I don't I just like I do want to say really quick, I do know that the like tiki parties is not the origination of the word tiki, and I understand that that's like actually a culturally significant thing. I'm saying specifically Mango Tiki Wiki is giving like Party City made this doll. It just feels weird, so I have to put her in getting bad. I'm so sorry. Then we have Cinder Slippers, so that's like a nice break for us because as I said, we've got more coming up. I do think this is pretty cute. I talked about in my first video. They're hard to see because it's white on white, but I do not like when Lalaloopsies have these short shoes just because their legs are literally just like tubes like that. Honestly, it's so much worse. They're like, no. I feel like my drawings are making it look more reasonable. Trust me, they are horrifying to me. If you've never seen one, they're kind of horrifying. If you love them, that's fabulous. I think I forgot to do my disclaimer that these are just my opinions and you're allowed to disagree. Whatever. But yeah, for me, I just think their feet are kind of freaky. And so when they do these flat shoes, I feel like I can see too much of their feet and it weirds me out. But at the same time, this is like obviously a Cinderella parody and they are little glass slippers. And like, how else would you do that? So she gets to go into good just because I have a hang up on the feet. Like I don't vibe with the feet, but I think that the execution is quite cute. And here we go. So this is Feather Telltale, and I hope we can all see why this is maybe not excellent. I don't even know what to say. And I like, it is always hard to rank dolls when it starts becoming a cultural sensitivity issue because it's just difficult for me to know it's not my culture and it's not my place to put it down. So like since we're looking at a doll that is inspired, shall we say, by Native American culture, I'm not Native American. And I know that there are people who have Native American ancestry who would rather have bad representation than no representation. So I hate putting stuff like this in awful because I feel like it's not like I feel like it's my place to speak out on it because unfortunately we live in a society where white voices mean a lot more than other people's voices, and so I like to try to use that voice to be like, hey, maybe this is kind of fucked up, but I don't want to be the one to completely condemn it, because I also don't feel like that's necessarily my place, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like these things are just so nuanced and complicated. I hope I'm making sense. Point being, um, Native American is a broad term to represent so many tribes across what is now America. And I very, very highly doubt that this doll is representative of any specific one. And it definitely, to me, feels a lot more just like costumey. Again, bringing up Party City, like this feels like going to a Spirit Halloween and being like, oh yeah, I'm going to be a Native American for Halloween, which is unbelievably fucked up. So I'm going to put her in Getting Bad simply for the fact of, like I said before, like I think I've talked before about Icy Dawn Dancer from Monster High on here, and there are people who are Native American who are like, Icy is not perfect, but like at least she's something. I don't want to take that away from people, but this is clearly not great. So that's why she's spared bottom tier, but she's certainly Getting Bad. There's only like one or two more that we're gonna have to get serious about it like that. So we're almost through the woods, I suppose you could say. Then we have Cat Jungle Roar, which I feel like I should love because her name is Cat and she's got, you know, like her little lion companion and all this stuff. I just feel like it's a bit, I don't know, something about it feels really all over the place, I guess you could say. I do think the new hair sculpt is interesting. And I think her little like safari dress could be kind of fun, but the cat ears make it weird. Um I'm gonna put her in Getting Bad too. Which also feels kind of weird because then I'm like, wow, I've just ranked a doll that I objectively am just like, this one is not cute to me, along with something that I think is certainly culturally insensitive. I listen, it's complicated. I should not be stressing this much. I'm supposed to be relaxing. Next up, Scarlet Riding Hood. I genuinely cannot relax to save my life. Like, I always be thinking about stuff like this. This is insanely cute. This is genuinely adorable. She's got her little baby pigtails, so this is like another newer sculpt here. This is just really genuinely cute. Like, it looks like she's got a lot of layers in her outfit. I love the red hair bow. He doesn't count, but the little wolf is hilarious to me. She gets to go into perfect. That's just funny. Okay, next up we have Dynamite, and I hate this doll with such a passion. I hate this doll. I'm really, really sorry if you like her. I just think everything about this is so ugly. Like, I will say props for like the goggles, because while I think that they look terrible, it's like at least an interesting concept. At least they tried something. But I just think this is really awful. I also am gonna be a little bit annoying here for a second. So you all may know that I'm autistic, and I currently am just violently fixated on My Hero. And when I say currently, I mean like for the last 5 years, it's been a problem. And my favorite character is Bakugo, and his canon hero name is Dynamite. And so it bothers me to lengths that are frankly unreasonable that this character is also named Dynamite and looks so bad. So she's gonna go all the way down into awful. Next up is Pickles BLT, which is like the funniest name. Like, genuinely just hilarious to me. And she's like an old school diner gal, you know, like she's got her little skates on and her big poofy skirt and everything. It's definitely not my aesthetic. Dang, Reese, I'm sorry. She said, how dare you pay attention to anything else? Yeah, it's definitely not my aesthetic, but I can appreciate it. At the same time, though, I'm thinking, like, how much is the name factoring into the fact that this is, like, kind of a funny doll to me, you know? Like, I can't rank her good because of her name. So I think she's going to go in just okay. Then we have Snowy Fairest. If you couldn't tell yet, they did do, like, some princess parodies. It was interesting to me when I was, like, doing this because I didn't expect that to be the case. But this is, you know, based on Snow White. Come here, baby. There you go, sweet girl. Every time I start talking, she's like, I want attention. This one's interesting to me because it's definitely like sort of giving Snow White not in princess form, but in like hardworking maid form, you know what I'm saying? I do really appreciate the apple on her little apron here, the way it's like a full apple and then a bitten apple and then like an eaten apple. I think that's really fun, but just in general, this is like not for me, so I'm gonna put her in just okay. Kind of similar. I know Alice is not like a princess, but it's kind of similar. So this is Alice in Lalaloopsy Land, which is objectively a funny name, let's be honest. Guys, can I say something controversial? Reese said I could, so I'm going to do it. I think that Alice in Wonderland is like a very interesting thing to pull inspiration from because it obviously has a lot of very kooky, funky, interesting motifs. That being said, I think that doing Alice parodies or like, you know, just Alice references specifically and like really they do tend to reference the original like Disney Alice in Wonderland. And guys, I gotta be real, I just think it's kind of boring. Like they all sort of look the same. And I like am open to Alice in Wonderland things. It's not that I like hate Alice in Wonderland or anything like that. It's just like it's been done so much and it's always done with only like a little bit of straying from the source material, if that makes sense, that it just always looks the same to me. So I'm going to put her in just okay. This is Scoop's Waffle Cone, and while I typically am not a fan of sweets themed dolls, I must admit they popped off hard with the Neapolitan hair with the literal ice cream scoops. Okay, you got me. You got me with that one. I can't really critique that. Even down to the fact that it's sort of I don't even know if this is meant to be a cone, but like that her skirt is giving me like ice cream cone and then her top is giving me ice cream scoop on top. I really normally don't like sweets themed dolls, but the hair is carrying this one hard. She gets to go into good. Then we have April Sunsplash, who I desperately want to love more than I do. It's literally just these boots. I do not like at all that the rest of her is like warm tones. You know, it's the pink, red, yellow, orange, and then suddenly it's like, let's give her some blue and green too. It's just bothersome. And like, her name's April Sunsplash because I was thinking if it was like trying to reference the rainbow after the rain, maybe that makes sense. But her name's not even Rainbow, and like it still could be, but at that point, I think you need to have something else going on to show that than just like a couple of extra colors thrown in there. I don't know. But I do like the idea of her umbrella dress. Sunny Madison who. I like the pigtail with the different colors. Like I don't hate her. I'm just nitpicky when it comes to color balance. And yeah, that's gonna pop her into good, I think, because I like the other aspects. It's just that part. I probably need to talk quicker. I don't even know how long I've been filming, but I know I have. Oh God, yeah. Okay, we gotta speed this up. Haley Galaxy, they made an alien. This is incredible. This is genuinely so fun. Love the hair sculpt. The green skin pops off. Everything about this is perfect. So guess where she's gonna go? Then we have Cloud E Sky, who's a little bit like angel coated, a little bit. What am I doing? She's got a halo and wings, for God's sake. Anyway, she's an angel. I think this is beyond cute. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much everything I have to say. I will add that I think the almost like dry brushing effect on her hair is really nice. And we really don't see a lot of that with Lalaloopsy. Like they're pretty much one hair color for the most part. Like obviously we've had a couple that have a few different hair colors, but most of them are just one hair color. So I really like that detail. She's going into perfect. Teddy Honeypots. Yeah, I don't like her, and I couldn't tell you why. I don't know, but she's going and getting bad. Something about her vibe is just not correct for me. Then we've got Confetti Carnival, and I love this one. She's so cutie. The mask is super duper fun. The hairstyle is really cool. We did have before. Can I not find her? Oh, she was the one down in Awful. This is Peanut Big Top. And I understand that the carnival and the circus are different things, and a carnival versus carnival is also different. Okay, I know all that. I'm just saying they're like similarly costumey, I suppose you might say. And that fell so flat, and this is so much infinitely better. I am mildly aggravated that like it has to be in pink because I just, you know, I like to see other colors, but this is really good. Like the little pointy elf shoes, like jester shoes, the fabric. This is top tier, perfect. Next up is Mint E Stripes, and she's phenomenal. Like, this is so crazy to me. I love, you can definitely see, because in the first video I did do the first 2 years of Lalaloopsy's like mainline releases, and then this video is everything else in chronological order. And I just think it's so fascinating to see the evolution of the brand and like what they can do. So we went from, in the first video, all of the dolls had one color of hair. And now we're getting this. This is so cool. And her dress is so fun too. And the contrast of that mint on the bows and on her legs is really well executed and really needed. I am obsessed. She's going in perfect. And I honestly didn't think there were going to be this many imperfect. We might run out of room. I guess we'll see what happens. I think this is scraps stitched together, but again, the name has cut off. I historically speaking have a touch and go relationship with Frankenstein characters, with G1 Frankie versus G3 Frankie for Monster High, but this is pretty solid. I can say I would never want to own this doll, but I do think there's a lot to love about her. I think the colors that are being played with here are really fun and really interesting. The unnatural skin tone is very enjoyable. Like, it is really cool. It's just not like for me, but we're gonna put her in up into good because she's definitely a really solid design. Then we have Peggy 7Cs. So we've got a little pirate gal. The fact that she has a heart eye patch. Shut up. Shut up. It does make me feel a little bit bad for the pirate boy because he's down here. He was in the first video, and like that's just not nearly as good as she is. She's got even the hat and everything. Like, she's really solid. I do think I'm gonna put her into good just because, like, again, it's not necessarily speaking to me on a personal level, but I'm vibing. Winter Snowflake. I feel like I should like more than I do. The other ones that have sort of played around with hair, I feel like a lot of them I've liked, like the scoops of ice cream and the peppermint swirls. This one's just not working for me necessarily, but everything from the head down I think is fab, so she gets to go into good. Little Ba Peep. I don't know. I don't know why she's called that. I mean, presumably Little Bo Peep is just like copyrighted by somebody. But Little Ba Peep, especially spelling it that way, like that's how you spell a sheep, like ba, like a sheep. I can't, and I just bod like a sheep on the internet, whatever. Ba, like bah humbug. That just feels unnecessary. Why am I getting hung up on spelling? It doesn't matter. I have literally no thoughts outside of her name, so she's gonna go into I Feel Nothing. Mary Golden Petals. I'm gonna let this sink in for y'all. Now she does have the flat shoes, so I should intrinsically hate her. And I just can't make myself do it. I'm sorry, I just can't make myself hate her. She's incredible. The colors are fabulous. The execution is fabulous. The hair with the flowers, shut up. She's going in perfect. Okay, Yuki Kimono is, I think, the last one for today's video that like I feel is a little controversial maybe. I know Yuki is a Japanese first name, so like at least there's that. At least we're not pulling like a J.K. Rowling Cho Chang situation. I don't know because like all of the other ones have puns and stuff too, and a lot of them are named after items. So like I don't know if her last name being Kimono is that bad in the sense that like if a Japanese person created this, that's their culture. They can make their puns, whatever. But I just don't know how I feel about this being produced, especially just given like the other things we've seen from like quote unquote representing different cultures from Lalaloopsy. Like it just makes it hard to feel like this geisha girl is in good faith, if that makes sense. I again, I'm just like, who am I to say this is bad? Because like I know very little about Japanese culture. Like I don't want to, but just given what they've done before, I'm gonna put her in getting bad. But if any of you guys are Japanese, feel free to tell me what your thoughts are on her, because I'm not putting her there because I'm like, ew, she's ugly. I hate Japanese stuff. Like, that's not it. Just out of an abundance of caution, I feel like Lalaloopsy has not proven themselves to be doing great in the culture department. And so I don't want to presume that that one is better just because it looks better to my naive eye. I hope that makes sense. I hate it here. I hate that we have to do these things. Just make things that are culturally appropriate. Anyway, cherry crisps crust. I love. Come here, baby. Love the concept of this dress. This is so fun. Like the lattice with like the quote unquote cherry pie filling is so top tier. Reese just knocked over like every single one of my Ever After High dolls. Baby, are you okay? You got a little scared. Are you alright? She's okay. I'll fix that later. So the concept is incredible, even down to like the cherry and the ice cream scoop on her head. I just don't know why it isn't reading as perfect to me. Like it should be. The concept is unreal. But something about the execution, it honestly, like I'm just not feeling great about it. So it's just gonna go into just okay. Smile E wishes. She's got fairy wings. Is she like a tooth fairy? Because smile. I think the freckles are cute. I think her hairstyle is very cute. It kind of reminds me of Bantu knots. I love that. The outfit is not bad. I don't know. I'm gonna put her in just okay. There's nothing wrong with her. I just am not really vibing. Candle slice a cake. I think this one is the one that marks when they start getting really strange with their names. Like not every single one, but like you can definitely tell towards the end here. We're not there yet. But like as we get closer to the end, you can really tell that they are sort of maybe struggling with the names a little bit, or like shifted the model they use for their names, because you're going to get a lot more that are just like not as amusing to me, I guess, that are kind of just random, and there's like a lot of multiple words, like instead of just like first name last name, it's like three or more words. I don't know, it's just like a note. I'm not ranking them on their names. I don't know why this matters. This is a Sweets themed doll that I don't like. She's going getting bad, sorry. Star magic spells. Can you guess where she's going? She's got star hair. Come on. She's going in perfect. I am gonna run out of room in perfect. I'm gonna have to like extend the canvas, which is aggravating, but okay. Frost icy cone. I want to love this because the hair, this is transparentish. So translucent. Sorry, there is a word for that. This is translucent, sparkly hair with a gradient. Why did they have to give her such a weird, off putting dress? Like, the fabric is incredible. I actually do love the fabric. I think the cut is just really bad. And then she's got those stupid flat shoes. They're like little jelly shoes. I know I just said so many negative things. I'm honest to God still putting her in good. Just because, like, if I ignore the shape of the fabric, I can't. The hair, come on. Rosebud long stem. This is a lot. And I do think it's just like a teensy bit too much. I love a lot of the vibes. Again, like we're seeing the flowers in the hair, and I do think that's really cool. I just something about this one overwhelms my eyes a little bit, unlike this girl here, the other one who had a form of rose hair or like flower hair. Yeah, so she's going into good. Dottie Gale wins. I'm sure that if you love The Wizard of Oz, this is sublime for you. I just don't care. Also, why? Why are her shoes pink? Is that like a copyright issue? I know with The Wizard of Oz, there's like a copyright thing for the precise shade of green for the Wicked Witch's skin from like the first movie. So like all like other renditions of The Wizard of Oz have to use a slightly different color. Is this like that? Can they not do the ruby red slippers? Because I gotta keep it 100% real, Fal. If you can't do the ruby red slippers, I feel like you shouldn't be making a Dorothy doll. She's going in... I'll put her in I Feel Nothing. Because like I'm mad about the slippers, but everything else is kind of... I can get over it. Toasty Sweet Fluff. Love the hair. Do not like the dress. This is plastic. What? No. No. Bad. Getting bad. What? I didn't even realize that when I was prepping this. Queenie Red Heart. She's giving, like, if you take out the flamingo, she's giving more like Valentine's Day than Queen of Hearts. And quite frankly, I would like her better if she was advertised that way. I'm gonna put her in just okay. Okay, Furry Gears a lot. I'm pretty sure this is like a very popular one. Like I don't know where I'm getting that, honestly. I just like it feels like this is one that I've seen people talk more about. So I know this is unpopular. I'm sorry, I don't like it. Like I just don't like her. I'm sorry. Sweetie Candy Ribbon. I love the hair. I think that is so fun. I love the colors. I love the tutu. And I adore the fact that they took her little blushes and put little swirls in them to match her hair and like her design and everything. She's going into perfect, and she's going to be the last one that I can fit in there without having to adjust anything. Then we have Fancy Frost and Glaze, I believe is her name. So this is yet another sweets themed doll. They really were doing a lot of these, and like I get it. I do. I see where it's like, oh, sweets are such a fun thing. Like there's so many varied kinds of sweets and like, there's so much you can do with it. This one is so nothing though. So she's going in I feel nothing. Charms 7 something. I don't know. This one is, in fact, making me eat my words for, I believe it was this doll here, whose name is Jewel, who had a tiara that did not, in fact, have any jewels, and like that aggravated me. Now we're getting the jewels, but by God, I kind of wish we were. I just think this is really not it. I'm so sorry. Going and getting bad. Okay, I can not to spoil anything. This next one I'm gonna have to put in perfect. So give me a second so I can fix this chart a little bit. Okay, now that we've extended the chart, we can talk about Mona Arc Wings. This is another one where I'm just looking at her and it's like, if you know anything about me, of course I'm gonna put her in perfect. The hair with like the little butterflies in it, the actual butterfly antenna is so cute. The dress is gorgeous. Like, I just love her. She's so baby. She's going in perfect. It is kind of funny to me that the last two to go into perfect both have predominantly pink hair and yellowish hair accessories. Oh my god, this is another really good one. Bluebell Dewdrop. Shut up. Oh my god, she's giving like a little flower sprite. I love everything about her. The layers, the colors feel well balanced, and the flower atop her head is the cutest thing I have ever seen. So she's going in perfect. If I have to extend this again, I'm gonna lose it. Allegra leaps and bounds. Okay. I am 99% certain that an Allegra, and I'm sorry if I'm saying that incorrectly, is a ballet term. Like I think that is like a move or a stance or something. I don't know. I'm sorry. But I feel like that's why she's called that. However, for me as a layperson, Allegra is an allergy pill. So this was a weird one to pull up. I do like that she has her point shoes. I think that's a nice change to like really emphasize the ballerina aspect. Other than that, she's kind of just like there. So I'm gonna put her in I feel nothing. Sorry. Fluffy Pouncy Paws is another one that I feel like I should love. But like the plastic, you can see we're getting a little bit of a decline now. Like we had some really insanely like high quality, oh my gosh, there's like multiple colors and stuff sort of situations. And now we're seeing like molded stuff and lack of painted detail. And it's so sad. And yeah, that just it holds her back. So she gets to go in just okay. Whistle, kick, and score. See what I'm saying about the names? Like they're starting to crop up like this. This is there even an orange flag in soccer? I don't follow sports. I sometimes watch football, and so I have a vague grasp of football, like American football. But soccer or football, I have no knowledge of really, despite having played it in like the third grade. Funny story, in case anyone cares. I was on the soccer team for like 3 years, somewhere in there, I think, and never once did anyone tell me what the rules of soccer were. So the only position I was good at was the goalie because that was the only one that I understood. But yeah, I just like I get where they're going with this, but this is really ugly and she's going in awful. Props for the soccer ball hair puffs, but like it can't save her. Royalty honey stick, maybe it's honey st. So it's honey something in here. I'm a disaster. We've already been over this. You know what? Generally speaking, I love a good bee theme. I still like this one, but there's something holding her back, so she's gonna go in good. Cherie, prim and proper, is just infinitely not my thing. I think I think I'm gonna put her in I feel nothing. Because honestly, like I look at her and I'm just like tired. I'm like, okay, I don't care. So that's I guess the best place. Keys, sharps, and flats. I am obsessed with the hairstyle. Everything else is sort of it's there. So it has to go into I feel nothing because like I don't really have any thoughts. Like I'm just breezing past her. Strings, pick and strum. Again, like the names are getting ridiculous. I don't know why. I feel like I'm talking more about the names than I am about anything else in this video. I know that's not true, but I just yeah, it getting bad. I'm so sorry. She's not for me. Watermelon seeds I want to love so bad because I am in fact obsessed with like fruit printed things, especially if it's got strawberries, lemons, or really any form of citrus fruit or watermelons on it. I'm invested. But again, we've got them molded on and it's just so nothing. It's just so like not what she could have been. She's in just okay. Bubbles smacking something that I don't remember. I like that it looks like her hair is sort of translucent, and in this case, the sort of bubbly skirt is obviously quite appropriate. The shoes are freaking me out. It looks like Converse are about to explode. She's going in just okay. She's got some elements that are really cool for the concept, but other elements that are not working. Oh my god, three more. Okay, we're actually almost done. Cake, Dunk, and Crumble, I think is this one. I mean, if I feel like just disappointment, I guess I can't put her in I feel nothing. So she's gonna have to go in getting bad. I'm very sorry. Then we have Storm E Sky. I wish this one just like referenced better what her name is referencing. Like the cat has like a lightning bolt tail and a lightning bolt collar. And I'm really sad that I'm not getting Storm from the rest of this doll. That being said, if I didn't know that her name was Storm E Sky and that she was supposed to like be up on that, if that makes sense. Like if I didn't know that her inspiration was supposed to like be related to her name, I do think I like elements of this outfit. I think the boots are really fun, and I like the jacket and the silver vest. I don't know about the skirt. I think we're gonna have to put her in just okay. And then last of all, we have got Crumpet Hearts. I don't know really what the situation is going on here. I do think I like her dress, so she can go in just okay. But she was real close to I feel nothing because I was sitting there for a second being like, what do I even say about this doll? But that is all of the Lalaloopsies ranked now. That is everything for parts 1 and part 2. Unfortunately, we do have to address some things. Okay, so let me go ahead and just take off part 1 for a second. It is going to be a little jilted, obviously. But you can see that this still is a reasonably positive ranking. Like we only had a couple that ended up in awful. A decent chunk, okay, a decent chunk. 3 of the dolls that were in getting bad are in there for like cultural insensitivity reasons. So like if you were doing this ranking based on like purely aesthetics, if you just like took out the bad cultural dolls, there would be fewer in there. So like overall, a decently positive ranking. But we can't just ignore the poor at best cultural representation because that's not super duper great. And the other thing is that I had said in part 1 that this shoot, I need to get bigger. This was like the darkest skin tone that we got in the first 2 years. And I said, that's not great for the first 2 years to like have that be the darkest skin tone. But and like it's only one doll, mind you. Okay, it's not just an issue of like there are people who exist who are significantly darker. It's also there was only one doll that had skin that dark. And I was like, okay, well, it's not a great look, but maybe they improve in the next several years. Like maybe I'll do my part 2 and it'll be like, oh my gosh, there's such a wide diversity of skin tones. And like I will say that they do have different skin tones, but they didn't really broaden their horizons in terms of making anyone any darker. Like we got the mime and the geisha who have white face paint, and then we have an alien and a Frankenstein who have you know, green and blue colors respectively. But when it comes to actual human skin colors, the darkest that we got before Stormy Sky, and there is a reason that I'm saying that, is this color, which is objectively very pale. And also, like, to be fair, it could be the product photos, and like, this is a round object, like it's a sphere, there are shadows and highlights on it, and I'm color picking one place. Okay, I get that. But it also does feel like maybe some of these are like a little bit like ashy looking, just like slightly, at least from the stock photos. The reason I excluded Stormy Sky is because Crumpet Hearts and Stormy Sky were added on when they started making reproductions in, I think, like 2020 or 2021, you know, somewhere in there. So they're removed from the initial run. So I do think it's important to highlight that within the initial run, we only ever got one doll that was this dark. And that was within the first 2 years. And then they did not make another doll that was that dark again. And it was literally just the one. Even the like next deepest skin tones, we don't have a ton of. I mean, you're seeing the same image that I am. And then even if we take Stormy Sky, I'm trying to get them all like sort of right in the middle of the head. She's admittedly less gray toned than the other ones that we've pulled from, like than this one. And she's a little bit darker, but she's still not as dark as the darkest doll that they've made. And I don't know, it feels bad, you know, like I can't look at this and ignore the fact that most of these dolls are obviously white to like white passing. Like these are very pale dolls for the most part. There's not a lot of skin tone diversity, and the diversity that we do get in terms of skin tone, it's like a drop in the bucket. You know what I'm saying here? Like it's just not. And I'm not trying to say there aren't other dolls that are like clearly meant to be black people, because like there are, but there's not a ton of them, and there's not a wide range of skin tones represented for them. And so it just feels not great. And so when you add that in to then the dolls that we talked about in here, that's the eraser, my bad, where it's like, is that good representation? And I can certainly say some are not. I'm less certain on others, but like, it's just a little bit disappointing. So if we are looking very surface level, I do think Lalaloopsy has clearly a lot of very cute designs. Like there are a lot of really, really nice dolls in here that I think are super fun. And I think there are a lot of really interesting concepts that they went for, but we can't really ignore the representation issue. So on that fun note, this is going to be my complete Lalaloopsy ranking. I dread to see how long this is, but hopefully it was fun for you guys. Hopefully it was okay without me sort of being in the video, because this just was a lot easier for me to do with my current limitations. But we are finally done for today, so I would love to now hear your thoughts, since I have successfully forced you to listen to all of mine. So definitely sound out down below what your thoughts are on the line as a whole, your favorites and least favorites, your thoughts on the representation, just all of that jazz. Y'all know I love to hear what you were thinking. But that's going to be it for me for today, guys. I do hope you're able to enjoy. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or your night or whatever it might be, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.